A new roller coaster opening next year here in the UK has had its track delivered. Another new roller coaster opening next year here in the UK has also had its track delivered. And guess what? You wouldn't believe it. Alton Towers have moved Project Horizon. Now that is a joke, but you never know. All that and more has happened this past week in theme parks. One and only series of all time is back once again, and you won't believe me, but this series is now award winning. Look at this award that we got. It is a replica of the Rita entrance sign, because this series is awful. And to be fair, in the past week there's not been a lot of news regarding new announcements for brand new rides, but there's been a lot of good news in terms of deliveries and more deliveries. So I'm very excited to get this episode underway, because there may even be a chance for me to deliver you guys some speculation. If you do go on to enjoy this video and you want to see more just like this, then please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. So what has happened this past week in theme parks? Now I don't really know where to start with this, but I guess I probably should get off the floor. And I guess I should begin where I normally do, because this time I've actually got some Nemesis updates, because something was found in the Alton Towers car park that could lead and link to the Nemesis site. And more so, there's actually some planning permission that's gone in place for some of the buildings in that area. That may be a bit more factual, so I'm going to start with that. If you're unaware, a while back, Alton Towers filed for planning permission to rebuild and repurpose the buildings next to where Funkenfly was, and also opposite Subterra, the Edge Games and Ripsaw Cafe. Now, I have already gone through an in-depth discussion and debate about that old cafe. Sounds riveting, I know. And for some reason, I thought it was going to be a cafe again, but it's actually just a shop, apparently. So I was wrong. How am I wrong about speculation, and now I'm wrong about facts? I'm just an idiot. But that rusty old cuboid aside, the more exciting one is the Edge Games facility, of course, an old arcade building opposite Subterra, and now we know what it's going to look like when it reopens. Edge Games is closing, and this new style building is double the height of the original one, and supposedly it's going to have to keep both rides and an operator's booth in mind. What did I say at the start? They're moving Project Horizon to the Edge Games facility. I'm so right. Have that building double the height and also have those things in mind. We could see a new small flat ride in there. But even if we do or don't, I don't think it's going to be anything major anyway. It'll be one of those things that you find at the likes of Babylon Park, or it might even be this Lightning McQueen Rockin' Tug. Although I can't lie, looking at that does give me nightmares. The actual floor plan itself has no actual plan. It is just arcade. But whether there is a ride in there or not, I don't really care. We'll find out when we enter that room in 2024. However, something a little bit more interesting is a TikTok surfaced a few weeks ago. In the past week. Totally. And it showed the Alton Towers car park with this weird looking metal archway thing surrounded by cones. Good defense mechanism. And the reason this is interesting is because it has now disappeared from where it was, and the width and sort of size of it looks like it could fit those red markings that I originally saw in Forbidden Valley. And what does an archway like that somewhat resembling a theme park scenario? A roller coaster. No, it looks like it could be the entrance of the area, you know, between where Subterra and the Edge Games building are. There, position where those markings were, a massive entrance sign welcoming you to the Phalanx Fun Fair. But if you have that there, then further down you also have the Nemesis archway. So there's just two separate areas in one. Okay, I need to get to grips on this. I'm not a creative designer. Although, you know what I can create? Planet Coaster recreations. I just quickly wanted to mention this because if you haven't seen at the end of my Hyperia POV, I am potentially going to be building Nemesis soon. Christ, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. But I wanted to tell you that that'll be underway very, very soon. I promise you. And I would show you a little preview of what it looks like right now, but I kind of can't, because I don't know the full picture of what I've built. Although I can sort of gauge the full picture of two roller coasters coming to the UK next year, as these two parks are both getting new roller coasters and they've both had track deliveries today. I don't even think it was today, it was like 4 days ago. And the first of the two, technically three, we're going to discuss is Legoland's Minifigure Speedway. I love that name. And these coasters are the less mysterious of the two. These dueling racing roller coasters by Sierra are going to race down the hillside with red and blue sides, which, by the way, I predicted that from early. I predicted it was going to be red and blue. I'll take all the props I can get. I actually got something right for once. Congratulate me. Thank you. Oh, Honestly, like,
It's just two primary colours, you idiot.
shut up. Both of these rides have now gone vertical. Yes, as you can see, the station is coming up very nicely. It's been erected already, along with quite a few supports for the ride. And as much as the supports are vertical, over in the car park, there is track for the ride sat, waiting to be put up. Both colour tracks are now present at the resort, and they look very, very nice. It's still a darkish red and blue from the photos we've seen. Maybe it'll look brighter in real life, otherwise it's going to look a bit out of place compared to Duplo Valley. I trust Legoland, I'm sure it'll work. The one thing that's really odd though is the fact that it is Sierra track, not Vekoma, which are the ones that usually do every family boomerang in existence. Except for Mandrill Mayhem. But everyone complained, like, why are you going for Sierra, the cheaper option? Apparently it costs them like 10 million to make both of these coasters. I wouldn't complain at that. Although speaking of manufacturers in the theme park industry space, another one we can talk about is Intamin, because they have been working on Drayton Manor's brand new Wild West themed lift and launch ride. That's the name we have for that one so far. And you'd never guess what it's going to feature. This coaster is going to have a lift and a launch. It's going to take guests around loads of theming and scenery, going over loads of airtime, hills, twists and turns. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be epic. And before I even talk about the coaster news, I want to talk about the area itself, because I haven't really thought about that much, because I'm a roller coaster enjoyer. Because if you don't know, opposite the ride is going to be 3 different rides that we know already. The Haunting, Sheriff Showdown and Drunken Barrels. Now one of those fits right in with this Wild West theme, another slightly does if you did a few tweaks, and the other doesn't at all. Now that Drunken Barrels flat ride has actually closed already to undergo that refurbishment, so that should be done in time for the opening. But will we see the Haunting actually be reclaimed back to the Western era? Will it remain the same, or will it have a brand new story and theme? But of course, the coaster. What are we talking about with that? This is the real news. A while back, we did see a load of supports delivered to the park, left in a car park. But in that same car park, the track for this new coaster has arrived as well. And much like the Legoland photos, you can see right here it positioned with loads of other track pieces. And this time, instead of a red and blue, it's a brown gold colour. Yeah. What is up with parks doing gold coasters all of a sudden? You've had a Hyperia, now you got this one. Go on, Nemesis, make it a third. From what we can see though, the track pieces look very twisty and also quite elegant. You know, we can't really tell what they look like at all, I'm just speaking. But I really hope we get some more information on this ride very soon. We don't know enough. It makes me sad. Hopefully as well, I'll be able to visit Drayton Manor during Christmas to have a look at that construction site from the outside. Peering in. You stop peeking. I won't. Who's going to stop me? And talking of construction updates, make sure you subscribe, because there may be 3 coming very soon. Good night.